the A&E worldview and the influence of Hellenism. The transformation of the A&E worldview within the advent of Hellenism, marked by a profound shift in how Scripture was understood and interpreted. Before Alexander the Great's conquest, the A&E was dominated by a conceptual framework where the primary concern was not material origins, but functional ontology. Again, in this worldview, something existed when it had a defined purpose within a well-ordered system, not merely because it was physically present. For instance, the Genesis creation narrative focuses on God assigning roles and functions to the various elements of the cosmos, thereby bringing order out of chaos. This understanding, however, was deeply rooted in the cultural and religious context of the A&E, a context that began to fade with the rise of Hellenistic influence. Hellenism introduced a radically different intellectual tradition, one heavily influenced by Greek philosophy. The Greeks emphasized metaphysical concepts such as substance, essence, and the dichotomy between the material and the immaterial. As Hellenistic thought permeated the Mediterranean world, it significantly influenced the interpretive methods of the early church fathers. These Christian thinkers, living centuries after the decline of the A&E, were naturally shaped by the dominant philosophical currents of their time. Consequently, they approached the scriptures with a focus on material creation, particularly the idea of creation ex nihilo, or creation out of nothing, a concept that was in line with their metaphysical concerns, but alien to the original A&E mindset. For example, the church fathers often read Genesis 1 as a literal account of physical creation of the universe, interpreting God's creative work primarily in terms of bringing matter into existence rather than establishing functional order. Similarly, later Jewish interpretations, such as those found in the Bereshit Rabbah, also reflect this Hellenistic influence. The Bereshit Rabbah, a 5th century CE midrash, offers insights into Genesis that are shaped by rabbinic tradition, but also by the intellectual environment of the Greco-Roman world. This shift can be seen in how these texts engage with questions of creation and existence, often emphasizing materiality in ways that were not central to earlier A&E thought. The A&E conceptual framework, with its emphasis on functional ontology, was largely obscured for centuries due to this Hellenistic overlay. It was not until the modern period, with the rediscovery of A&E literature and artifacts through archaeology and scholarship, that a clearer understanding of the original context of these texts, like Genesis, began to emerge. Scholars such as John Walton have highlighted that the Genesis account is less about the material universe and how it came into being, and more about how God ordered and assigned functions within the cosmos. This shift in understanding has been pivotal in helping modern readers to move beyond a strictly materialist reading of Genesis and to appreciate the narrative's original focus on purpose, order, and divine sovereignty. This deeper understanding has profound implications for how we interpret Scripture today, recognizing that the biblical authors were primarily concerned with function rather than material substance. And this allows us to engage with the text in a way that is more faithful to its original context. It also helps us to see the continuity between Genesis and the other A&E creation accounts, which similarly focuses on the establishment of order and function within the cosmos, albeit within a polytheistic framework. By recovering this A&E perspective, modern readers can better grasp the theological depth and richness of the Genesis narrative, appreciating it not just as an account of physical origins, but as a profound declaration of God's purpose and order for the world.